Top of the day, beautiful people. Shayla, hey girl, hey. Great rising, y'all. It's the Friday. It's the Friday. It is Friday, June the 24th, 2022, day 141 of year 4 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets. Another 4-year consecutive day counts, day 1,159. Today we're picking back up in the book of God's word found in the Oahspe on page 187. So let's get going. Father, we thank you for another day. Excited to show up on post and read in our dedication and search for truth. Bless all those who are truth seekers and those who will be and those who are looking for you. We know you stand ready and ever present with guards on watch to lead them in the right path. Whether they be mortal or immortal, they are there always on post looking for your people. Here we go, y'all. Page 187. Okay. Chapter 19. How many chapters I say was in here, y'all? Oh, I didn't go all the way ahead. We might probably be here at the max in this book. Maybe if a week. Then we start the book of divinity. I'm so excited about that. Okay. Mom, shalom. Audrey, shalom, shalom. All right. Chapter 19. Zarathustra called his 50 companions before him, saying, because these people are delivered from the tyrant, they will become his enemies. A people long oppressed love vengeance. This would thwart the Oahspe law. Something I learned yesterday while I was reading and studying and going through the Oahspe. I realized what Oahspe law means. Zarathustra, instead of calling on Yah or using Jehovah, he called them Or-Maz. Or being light and Maz being entity. So he refers to the great creator, the great spirit as, I think I got it right, hold on, light entity. And I was on my phone on online Oahspe while I was scrolling through. What was I at? I was in... No, not the book of knowledge. Y'all, where we at there? The book of knowledge and the book of discipline. Everything is just so good. It's like I'm at a smorgasbord. I'm like, oh, y'all got to try this. Taste this. Look, y'all, taste this. Oh, my gosh, this is so good. All right, we'll taste that tomorrow. We kind of like stuff today, but look, this is on our list to try tomorrow. Like, I feel like I'm, you know how they got those TV shows with people going around trying the different foods at the restaurants. I'm going to have hold on. I forget which one it was. We're just going to have to come back to it. I'm going to share it with you today. I'll put where it's located. Hold on. Let myself a note because, I'll be forgetting. And then 2 days later, I remember. Definition. Post Pamela. Okay. Lavon, blessings. Auntie, Belinda Brown. Hey, girl. Hey. Okay. I started over. We were still on in verse 1 anyway. Chapter 19, page 187. Zarathustra called his 50 companions before him, saying, because these people are delivered from the tyrant, they will become his enemies. A people long oppressed love vengeance. This would thwart the Oahspe law. Take them, therefore, away from the city, dividing them into groups amongst yourselves, and I will send angels capable of interpreting languages. Yahuwah Mazda said, behold, a God cometh not to accomplish at random, nor cometh he to one man only, nor cometh he to one man only in order to overthrow the evil of a whole world. Ye have been prepared for this work since the day of your birth. My angels have been with you, and ye are part of my army. Now this shall happen to you. After ye have divided these people and conducted them into the forest, ye shall begin to speak with new tongues, and these people will understand you. Tiffany, hey girl, hey. We're on page 187, verse 2, chapter 19. Now this shall happen to you after ye have divided these people and conducted them into the forest. Ye shall begin to speak with new tongues, and these people will understand you. And ye shall build altars of worship to Oahspe, teaching these people songs and prayers and dancing, explaining to them the Oahspean law, or the law of light. Zarathustra said, Wait not for me to come, nor for the voice of Yahuwah Mazda, but do ye in faith as I have commanded, and the voice will be with you. Remember, the voice is also another term for the great creator, the great spirit, right? Another name is, it's on that list. It's the very last one. He whom mortals name. Because it's our thing, we just gotta name stuff. We think we gotta name everything, right? It's he who the mortals name. That's who he is. Zarathustra said, Wait not for me to come, nor for the voice of Yahuwah Mazda, but do ye in faith as I have commanded, and the voice will be with you. So those who fled from the anarchy of the city were led away, half a day's journey, and there encamped. And the companies of Zarathustra, who were styled Inquas, were entranced and comprehended the language of the people and could talk with them understandingly. So they built altars to Oahspe and taught the people worship and caused them to take an oath not to kill any man. Where's my highlighters? Hold on, let me pull my highlighter out. Listen to this. All of those followers of Oahspe, the great creator, the great spirit, the one whom we call Yah. I used to say the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but as I read ahead, that can kind of be twisted a little bit, right? And I would say that with those who understand that there were some shenanigans going on, so that if I ever said it, don't get me twisted like I'm talking about I worship Luamon, because I don't. I worship the great creator, the only one who can create. All right, listen, hold on. Okay, so they built altars to Oahspe and taught the people worship and caused them to take an oath not to kill any man or woman or child or beast nor bird nor animal created alive. And they bound them on the oath, taken under the thigh, to eat only fruits and nuts and roots and bread according to the Oahspean law. You know how some of y'all wanted to fight me about telling y'all we ain't supposed to be putting flesh and blood in our mouth. I mean, not y'all here. I think the ones that wanted to fight me, they still come in randomly trolling me, sending me crazy messages. My ignore game is on fleek. Listen, but sometimes if I got the time and I feel like I got the strength, I'll go back and forth with you. But only in a way, in hopes to wake you up or cause you to think about what I'm really saying, right? I don't do no petty. It's not too petty, but I do pettiness with purpose in order to help you wake up and see the light. Listen. And they bound them on the oath, taken under the thigh. We learned about oaths taken under the thigh from our Hebrew roots, right? And they bound them on the oath, taken under the thigh, to eat only fruit and nuts and roots and bread, according to the Oahspean law. And they divided them into families of tens and families of hundreds and of thousands, giving them one rabbah for each, according to the Zarathustrian law, right? We would have been a group all to our own. They would have divided us into a family of 10, because we already at 12. Just me and my crew. They come from me and my husband, our 6 babies. my son's wife and his 3 children, plus another son. And they divided them into families of 10s and families of 100s and of 1,000, giving them 1 rabbi for each, according to the Zarathustrian law. But Zarathustra returned into the city, and Yahuwah Mazda clothed him about with fire at night and with clouds in the daylight, so that the people could behold his power, and no man dare raise a hand against him. Then he commanded the people to gather together all the skulls on the walls and the scalps that were hung about the houses and on the poles, and they were taken away and burned. And as for the soldiers, he disbanded them, and thus the king was rendered helpless, left to stroll about cursing. And Zarathustra advised the people to go out of the city and live. And so they went forth by thousands, beginning new lives. After that, Zarathustra left the place, and at once it was filled with Druhas. And they went to the Druks and inspired them to fire and plunder. And it came to pass, in not many days, the great city of Segal, with all its temples and towers and palaces, was reduced to a heap of ashes. Zarathustra went before the people, hundreds of thousands of them, speaking by the voice of Yahuwah Mazda, saying, I hear certain ones, whoever setteth value on earthly things above heavenly things, it is good for him to have fire and destruction. Read that again. Zarathustra went before the people, hundreds of thousands of them, speaking by the voice of Yahuwah Mazda, saying, I hear certain ones saying, whoever setteth value on earthly things above heavenly things, it is good for him to have fire and destruction. All things come of the Father, or Maz being the light entity, the great light, the great spirit, right? Or by his permission. All things come of the Father, or Maz, or by his permission. When he withdrew his hand from a wicked city, evil spirits rush in. Ye have said, who are evil spirits? Why doth not Ormaz destroy them? I say unto you, evil spirits are both yourselves and the dead, whom ye have slain in passion, still live to torment you in spirit. Ye had their skulls hung on the gates and walls. Your temples of science were portrayed with the scalps of your enemies. The spirits of these people still live, though their bodies be dead, and they obsess you to deeds of wickedness. Let me read that again with a new highlighter. Listen, just help us understand a little bit more. Enoch chapter 15, and all them demons and evil spirits that's lingering around and haunting houses and haunting you and doing all kinds of craziness, wreaking havoc here, right? That's what Enoch chapter 15 tell us that they would do. Matter of fact, this is going to be in our title today. Who are evil spirits? Ye have said, verse 10, page 188, Oahspe, the bottom portion of the page, Book of God's Word. Ye have said, who are evil spirits? Why doth not Ormaz destroy them? I say unto you, evil spirits are both yourselves and the dead, whom ye have slain in passion, still live to torment you in spirit. Ye had their skulls hung on the gates and walls. Your temples of science are portrayed with the scalps of your enemies. The spirits of these people still live, though their bodies be dead, and they obsess you to deeds of wickedness. This is the Ormazdian law. When a man is dead, ye shall either burn the body or bury it in the ground, that the spirit be not troubled. Oh my gosh, where's my sister? We was trying to figure out. Look, okay, so we was going through this thing the other day. So we was reading over a couple different things in here. And so we was really concerned about what we had did to our daddy, because we cremated him, right? But we would remember what my grandma was saying, talking about something, you better not burn my body. Better just bury me. This was like a conversation that I had with my grandma like earlier in the year. She didn't want to be cremated. And so I figured, here was my thinking on cremating our father, right? Because me and my siblings, we talked about it. And so it was like, well, his, by the time he passed away, his body had degenerated to such a state that, he still looked okay, but he was super skinny. My dad always kind of had meat on his bones. Not big, but but honestly, us thinking about the life he lived and just different type of things, it was a decision that, even if his body be burned, his soul would be saved, right? And so because his body kind of caused him a lot of trouble during his life here, we decided, that we totally didn't do it because it was cheaper, although it just is, because you're not digging up plots and stuff or whatever. But that was our thoughts on actually cremating our father, right? But we started to think about this. It was like, did we do the right thing? Was we really supposed to bury him? Because as we in our research, we was coming across different things like, you're not supposed to bury a body and just different things. I mean, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to burn the body. You're supposed to bury them in the ground and stuff. So we was kind of getting a little conflicted because we really didn't know, right? So let me finish this thought. I saw your question, Audrey. But here it tells us, listen to this. It says, this is the Ormazdian law. When a man is dead, ye shall either burn the body or bury it in the ground, that the spirit be not troubled. But ye bound them in the spirit. Sigal was an eyesore in the sight of them that were slain for its glory. They delighted to see it destroyed, right? So people that hold people bodies up in like memorial or as trophies, or dragging their dead bodies through the street, that is a no-no. Their spirits will be in unrest until their bodies are properly buried or burned. Like they get it's part of the funeral rites. Okay, so skip off this real quick. Well, it's not really skipping off of this because this was a part of this. Audrey asked, Uncle JB, shalom. Audrey said, random question. Is dairy bad to consume since it's not technically killing the animal and it's not flesh? Okay, so it's not a random question because we just talked about this over here. And they bound them on an oath, taken under the thigh, to eat only fruit and nuts and roots and bread according to the Ormazdian law. Now, I would say yes, dairy is still bad, right? Even though you didn't necessarily, okay, so you don't have to kill a cow or a goat to get it some milk. But if you look at the contents of the cow or the calf's milk or whoever milk you drink that don't come from your mother's own teat, look at what it's designed to do. Even eggs, right? Somebody probably asked the same question about eggs. Nobody was killed, but it's a newborn baby chick. Put in the right circumstances and environment, it has all the components to develop into a full-blown chicken or hen or ostrich or whatever lays eggs and whatever kind of eggs you eat, right? It was designed to turn into that particular animal. And the milk that nurse that particular animal's babies is designed to help that particular animal grow into what it is. Now, if you actually look at the contents of what's in it, I would still say yes, it's bad. It's not for human consumption. Have y'all ever looked in the process of pasteurizing milk and why they pasteurize it, right? And even when you go to like dairy, the dairy manufacturers or whatever, they have to boil it. And even with that, so first of all, and Grand Rising, first of all, with milk, with cow's milk, does it say cow's milk, any milk, with the exception of humans, unless they sick or something, in cow's milk can also be found pus as well as blood. We know we ain't supposed to be drinking blood. All of that is found in animals' milk. So I would say yes. Not only is eating animals bad, but whatever products they produce is bad. It is not for human consumption. Although humans consume it, it is not for our consumption. Because even in eating a dairy, we break those laws and we consume blood without knowing it. Even though it may be very little, it's still there. That's not even talking about the pus that the FDA allows a certain portion to go into it because they can't get it all out. Y'all really should go. If you're dairy lovers and you've been trying to kick the habit, just go study it a little bit. And I guarantee you, from the time you finish reading, you will never put another piece of dairy in your mouth. It's almost disgusting what they allow to stay in the milk because it can't be completely boiled and pasteurized out of it. Leave it alone. Break yourself free by any means necessary, people. Okay. Meat and meat byproducts. All things that you had to kill, including meat, poultry, and fish. For my pescatarians, same thing. Okay. Verse 11. Let's just go back to 10. Verse 10. Ye have said, who are evil spirits? Why doth not Oahspe destroy them? I say unto you, evil spirits are both yourselves and the dead, whom ye have slain in passion, still live to torment you in spirit. Ye had their skulls hung on the gates and walls. Your temples of science were portrayed with the scalps of your enemies. The spirits of these people still live, though their bodies be dead, and they obsess you to deeds of wickedness. This is the Oahspe law. When a man is dead, ye shall either burn the body or bury it in the ground, that the spirit be not troubled. But ye bound them in spirit. Segal was an eyesore in the sight of them that were slain for its glory. They delighted to see it destroyed. More than ye have lost by the fire, these spirits have gained tenfold. For now the gods, can deliver them in heaven. For which reasons I declare unto you that it is a great good that Segal is destroyed. The world is large, the lands are very wide. Kill no man, nor woman, nor child. They are Oahspe, right? And so in the Bible, when that particular God is telling y'all to go in and burn entire cities, don't let nobody escape, man, woman, or child, that is a very good key that is not the Great Spirit, the creator of all creation that created you and me and everything living with breath in it. That was not him. Oh, good one, Tiffany. I wish I would have saw your comment when I was still commenting on Audrey's comment. Tiffany said, not to mention, we're consuming stuff that is foreign to our bodies and it's changing our systems. It absolutely is. Which is why if y'all can get into the habit of fasting, go in and start cleaning some of that old material out, because it does. It changes your system. Whatever you eat literally changes the structure of your system, all your mechanics on the inside, and then we begin to see the effects of that on the outside of your body. So if you go in fasting, doing fruits and veggies and doing mono fruit fast or whatever it is, whatever you're eating, the structure of whatever that is information for your body to take. Like as you're taking it, say if you go on a apple fast. An apple feast. A fast is abstaining from things. I know we say like water fast. It should be a water feast. But say if you go on an apple feast, a mono apple feast, and eat nothing but apples for, how long does it take to? Your cells are constantly changing, but they're completely rewritten in like 90 days. So if you go on like a mono fruit fast of apples for 90 days, whatever structure that apple is created of, you're going to see your body change rate. Like you ain't going to transform into another person, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? You're going to clean up like all your DNA. You're going to activate what they call junk DNA, which is not junk DNA. It's going to activate some of those things that's been lying dormant on the inside of you. You're going to see a super boost in your spiritual awareness. Your understanding will like kick in. Brain fogs will go away. You can do it with different types of fruit, or you can mix and match or whatever. We have to really be careful about what it is, especially because we know that the spiritual realm, they can talk to us. They're allowed to talk to us. Matter of fact, when we get to the book of divinity, when it starts talking about our ashars or our guardian angels, a lot of time when we hear stuff, is them relating the messages down the chain of command and tell us what to do. But one of the one of the stipulations of the Ashars or our guardian angels, they have to do it without being seen, which is to help teach us how to perceive the spirit and how to develop our hearing and how to be able to decipher what's truth and what's untrue. Trina, hey girl, hey. Right, so it's all a part of our growth in school here, right? Some people be like, man, just show me something, bro. You probably passed out. You couldn't handle it. But there's a method to what we call madness of the spiritual realm, right? And the more that I understand, I was like, you know what, this is friggin' amazing. I so love this. All that I'm learning, y'all. We're gonna be in it in about a week or so. So I'm just saying. But read ahead if you want to. All right. Let's go back to where we was at. Verse 12. More than ye have lost by the fire, these spirits have gained tenfold. For now the gods can deliver them in heaven. For which reasons I declare unto you that it is a great good that Segal is destroyed. The world is large, the lands are very wide. Kill no man, nor woman, nor child. They are ormazed. Neither shall ye build large cities. They are a curse on the face of the earth. Neither shall ye live alone, for such become bound to self, but dwell in families of tens and hundreds and thousands. Listen here, what is you over there clapping for? Mr. Murphy is over here trying to talk me into increasing our tribe.
And you have agreed.
Yeah, I did. I did agree. I'm like, but you got to catch me. Because I done learned how to calculate the stars, the sun and the moon, and when it's just right, and when I'm overlating and stuff. Okay, I'd agree. If you can catch me at that time, that means you're going to need to learn a little something about the moon cycle. If you can catch me. Yeah, I agree. If you can catch me, right? Francis, shalom, shalom. Okay. I'll read this again, verse 13. Neither shall ye build large cities. They are a curse on the face of the earth. Neither shall ye live alone, for such become bound to self, but dwell in families of tens and hundreds and thousands. Hath not the Father given you an example in the Ehims? They kill not, nor take that which is another's, nor are given to lust, nor war, nor quarrelsome. The voice said, where is the king's wife? Hitias, where is Hassan the prince? And the princesses, Petu and Zu and Hain and Zabi. The multitude answered, they are gone. After that, the voice said, I say unto you, they were gone, but they are returning. Presently they will be here. They shall speak before you. And sure enough, presently the king's wife and son and daughters came. He to us said, behold, Segal of Oahspe is burned. Who hath seen the king? Hain and Zabi, the princesses, were very young girls, and they cried for their father. He had slain himself, cutting his bowels across with his sword. Remember, that's the guy where all the dead spirits that he had killed showed up. We read about that yesterday. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday. But anyway, that was that dude. Verse 16. Yahuwah Mazda spake through Zarathustra, saying, come thou, Hitias, and stand on the rocks, so that all can see, and bring thy children. She came and stood beside Zarathustra, and now the voice said, let these bear witness whether the dead do not live in spirit. Hitias said, I was laughing at your comment, Tiffany. Hitias said, with my own eyes have I seen the spirits of the dead. With my own ears heard them talk. My children shall hold up their hands if these things be true. The children held up their hands. Again, Hitias said, where is my husband the king? Whilst they were standing on the rocks, Lo and behold, the ghost of the king rose up before all the people, and Hain and Zabi cried out, Here is my father. Then spake Mazda, saying to the soul of the king, Knowest thou that thou art dead? The soul of the king spake loud, so that all could hear him. He said, No, I am not dead, but I have done a foolish thing. I cut my bowels across, meaning he committed suicide. He committed harikari on himself. Well, no, harikari, you just fall straight up. Did I say that right? It's a harikari. Whatever the Japanese people, they just fall on their sword. Saul and his sons did. They just fell on the sword. Okay. Whilst I'll read verse 18 again. Whilst they were yet standing on the rocks, lo and behold, the ghost of the king rose up before all the people, and Hain and Zabi cried out, Here is my father. Then spake Mazda, saying to the soul of the king, Knowest thou that thou art dead? The soul of the king spake loud, so that all could hear him. He said, No, I am not dead, but I have done a foolish thing. I cut my bowels across. Then Haitius said, I fear indeed the king is dead, and this is his spirit. He looks strangely. Mazda said, There is no cut, thy belly is unharmed. But the spirit persisted, saying, I thrust my hand in the hole, and yet thou sayest, There is no wound. Thou art mad. I remember thee. It was thou who brought us back these phantom entities to taunt me. Yep, that's the same king. Remember, all them people that he had killed came back and said, We're waiting for you. Bring your soul. We're going to drag you to hell. Every one of us. Everybody going to take turns dragging you. You remember me? You remember what you did to me? We waiting for you. Like he sent himself there. He did the opposite of what he wanted to do, and sent himself faster to the torment that was waiting for him. All them souls that was tormenting him while he still had his flesh. He sent himself there a little bit faster. Listen. Thou art mad. I remember thee. It was thou who brought us back these phantom enemies to torment me. And Mazda said, What enemies seest thou? The spirits answered, All I ever slew, 1,000 or more. Away, ye torments, ye mockers, I will thrust you through. The soul of the king then stamped and raved, for he saw the spirits of the dead, but the audience saw them not, though they saw him, for he was in Sargus form. Remember what Sargus? Let's look it up real quick. I forget. Yeah, it's a spirit. Sargus. You got Sargus and Suis. Suis is the babies who you can press down their foreheads and cause them to prophesy and speak judgment. But you got to do it when they're really young so they can grow into that and grow. What is it? Sargus. In many places, the spirits took on and walked amongst mortals. People, spirits, or angels use the vortexia discharged by a prophet for a foundation for Sargus. Hold on. I think it's another definition. That's the index for those references. Hold on. Let's go to the glossary. Sargus, on page 783 of the Oahspe, a materialized angel or a person possessing certain spiritual qualities in whose presence the angels can take on the semblance of mortal forms. A materialized angel can inhabit a solid physical body, not just the appearance of one, but that is a feat requiring very specific environmental conditions, such as at the time of Oahspe during the Simuan age on Earth. A materialized angel can inhabit a solid physical body, not just the appearance of one. Okay. You can be, some people will call it possession. Okay, a materialized angel can inhabit a solid physical body, not just the appearance of one, but that is a feat requiring very specific environmental conditions, such as at the time of Oahspe during the Simuan age on Earth. Y'all, this stuff is good to know, especially if y'all got issues with being attacked by what you call demonic spirits and stuff. The more you know, the more you can grow, and you can talk to them and tell them that they need to go. You shouldn't be here. Go ahead and rise in heaven, right? Depending on at how much of a degraded state they are, right? But if they seem content on hanging around your house, pull out the Oahspe and teach them why they hang. Either they gonna stay and learn and be able to rise, or they're gonna leave because they don't like the light if they're at a really, really low degraded state, right? Okay. Or just let the book of Psalms or Proverbs play. That helps because it brings light. So either they're going to learn, they're going to grow, and they're going to rise to where they need to be, or they're going to get out of there. They're going to flee. Okay. I go back to verse 21. The soul of the king then stamped and raved, for he saw the spirits of the dead, but the audience saw them not, though they saw him, for he was in Sargus form. Yahuwah Mazda said, I say unto thee, O king, thou art dead and risen from the dead. Couldst thou but awake to this fact? Thou would be risen in spirit. Neither canst thou be delivered till these thy enemies are also delivered. Then answered the spirit of the king, saying, I vanquish thee from the city of Segal, nor shalt thou ever return under the penalty of death. You ain't in charge no more. You ain't even got a body, G. Listen, okay, look. So everybody that he killed, after they get their licks back on him because they were under his command while he was king, once he get all that under control and he can get from under their thumb after they done whooping his tail in spirit form, he got to raise all of them up so they all can rise. Like, you can't go nowhere unless they going with you. You are permanently attached to them. And then y'all can rise together. Remember, all the way back, we learned about that early on in the book of Fragapati, right? So those who think they ruling over people, like if you have the leadership of certain people, you can't rise until they rise as well. So if there's anybody that knows less than you, you have to teach them so y'all can all be on the same level. There can't be one higher than another. Y'all are brothers and sisters through and through, in the flesh and not in the flesh, forever. Here and there, on top of the house, under the house, reading a book, eating green eggs and ham, or whatever it is you do. You all have to be on the same level, and y'all have to rise together because y'all were put there together, and everybody gotta graduate together. Yahuwah Mazda said, I say unto thee, O king, thou art dead and risen from the dead. Couldst thou but awake to this fact, thou would be risen in spirit. Neither canst thou be delivered till these thy enemies are also delivered. Then answered the spirit of the king, saying, I vanquish thee from the city of Segal, nor shalt thou ever return under the penalty of death. Yahuwah Mazda said, I tell thee, O king, the city of Segal is destroyed. Verily is there not one house standing in all the place. The soul of the king answered, saying, Thou tormentest me, thou madman. Thou assertest lies in the face of facts. Begone, wretch. Oh, that my belly were not cut across. I would at thee with vengeance. Yahuwah Mazda withdrew the Sargus, and the king could not be seen. Nevertheless, his spirit continued cursing and raging all the same. He was like, okay, we're going to turn down the volume. we're gonna cut the picture off and turn down the volume so he don't mess with y'all. But he was still there. The Sargus form was just taken away for the people who still had bodies so they couldn't see it. But he was still there cussing and stomping. Oh, that my belly were not cut across. I would at thee with vengeance. Yahuwah Mazda withdrew the Sargus, and the king could not be seen. Nevertheless, his spirit continued cursing and raging all the same. The queen, Haitias, comprehended the matter fully, and her heart was heavy with sorrow. Yahuwah Mazda said to her, remember the faith of thy forefathers, the Ehims. Be thou strong in the Ormazdian law, and these sorrows will pass away. Nor is there anything in heaven on earth, nor is there anything in heaven or earth can satisfy the soul that is short before the law. That's good. Be thou strong in the Ormazdian law, and these sorrows will pass away. Nor is there anything in heaven or earth can satisfy the soul that is short before the law. To her that can say, I live, the all highest happiness hath a sure foundation. And whosoever perceiving the dead are in torments, let them pray for them, singing anthems unto the Father. Intercede ye with the all light to bestow them with peace. Think not that because of your prayers the all light runneth with Haoma to feed the spirits of the dead. But this I declare unto you, that by peace and joy in your devotion to the Father, the spirits are thus reclaimed to virtue and exaltation. Kind of like what I just said. If you see them there, they lingering around, they don't go nowhere, pull out the Oahspe and start reading, right? Teach them. Help them, pray for them, that the Father put them in peace. Okay. But after Father, singing anthems unto the Father, after Father is reference letter M. So, and that is, was that 2:16? Yep, 2:16. Okay. 2:16, reference letter M says, praying and saying mass for the souls of the dead is still kept up with the Brahmins, Buddhists, and Christians. Spiritualists now understand the importance of such ceremonies. 1882 edition. I'll read that again. Verse 26. And whosoever perceiving the dead are in torments, let them pray for them, singing anthems unto the Father. Intercede ye with the all light to bestow them with peace. Think not that because of your prayers the all light runneth with Haoma. Remember earlier we learned that Haoma is like the incense that the spirits feed on. Like we see it a lot in the Old Testament when they're doing sacrifices. The aromas, like that is a real thing. That's why you don't slaughter the animals, because those fetals, familiars, the druhas, the fetals, and familiars feed off the smells, the aromas of newly slaughtered flesh, and even the cooking of flesh. So if you cooking flesh, you frying up a steak, sauteing some steak and onions and mushrooms on your stove in your kitchen, I'm almost 100% certain you got druhas, fetals, and familiars in your kitchen with you. Oh, girl, what you in here cooking? Oh, that smells so good. That's how they get fed, y'all. And even if you out there hunting, killing, they there. Father, help us all, right? Think not that because of your prayers, the all light runneth with Haoma, or spiritual food for these spirits of the dead. Think not that the all light runneth with Haoma to feed the spirits of the dead. But this I declare unto you, that by peace and joy in your devotions to the Father, the spirits are thus reclaimed to virtue and exaltation. These things will I show unto you yet this night. Be steadfast and hopeful in faith. And when the evening hath come, I will again call up the spirits of the dead before you. And that is the end of chapter 19. We are now at chapter 20, chapter XX in Roman numerals. Chapter 20, we'll be at 44 minutes. Oh my gosh, time is just flying. Chapter 20. Because of the destruction of Segal, there were hundreds of thousands of people rendered homeless and destitute, and groups were surging about in all places, crying out for food or for some needful thing. Yahuwah Mazda said to Zarathustra, the all pure, the ill fortune of mortals is the good fortune of the righteous gods, but the good fortune of mortals is the glory of the evil gods. Let me read that again. Let me make sure I understand it. Okay. The ill fortune of mortals is the good fortune of the righteous gods, but the good fortune of mortals is the glory of the evil gods. Think not that because Segal is burned and the people hungry, the voice of the Father is out of place. Now is the time when they will give ear. Okay, I get it. Okay, because a lot of time when everything going good for you, you ain't trying to listen, right? But when things kind of get bad, you just kind of come to yourself and start considering your ways. Father, what am I doing wrong, right? It said now that's why it gives glory to the righteous gods, the real gods, or those who are ruling in the hierarchy and stuff. It's a glory that the people be in a destitute state. If you only know how to call on the Father when everything going good, right? I'm sorry, or if you forget the Father when everything going good, right? Okay, so let me read that again. The ill fortune of mortals is the good fortune of the righteous gods, but the good fortune of mortals is the glory of the evil gods. Think not that because Segal is burned and the people hungry, the voice of the Father is out of place. Now is the time that they will give ear. By the loss of earthly treasures, the soul seeketh for that which will endure forever. We all know that though, right? We've all experienced that. Probably at least all of us here, we know that from personal experience, right? By the loss of earthly treasures, the soul seeketh for that which will endure forever. Go thou therefore, O Zarathustra, and I will go with thee, and criers shall be sent out, calling the people to the valley of Sokhya this night. So it came about, when night set in, Zarathustra came before the people, and there were tens of thousands of them. Yahuwah Mazda spake to them, explaining the Ormazdian law. When he was done speaking, he took Hatias, the king's widow, her children, and 40 others, and made a crescent of them, and he stood betwixt the horns thereof. He just kind of lined them up like in a half circle, like a U, but you know, a crescent, like the crescent moon. He just lined them up like that, and he stood right there in the middle where you see like the Turkey star or the Islam star crescent with a star. He was a star standing in the midst of people. Y'all get it. When he was done speaking, he took Hatias, the king's widow, her children, and 40 others, and made a crescent of them, and he stood betwixt the horns thereof, and to his left and right were many of his companions. Thus prepared, Zarathustra sang a song such the Ehenes had taught him in his youth. And the Druhas were ushered into the crescent, taking on Sargus, the king amongst the number. And the spirit of the king was softened, for they sang peace to his soul and joy forever. And presently he awoke from his craziness and remembered he was dead. And he rejoiced in Zarathustra and applauded him before all the people. And likewise the spirits of darkness who were with him did in the same manner. You know what? This just reminded me of something that I just saw. I'm going to share it with y'all. Y'all might become teary-eyed, but it's not a process with a human. It's actually with somebody who, it was with the animal. It was with a rooster. A rooster, right? Although, okay, so this rooster, this woman has, okay, so I want to, okay, I don't necessarily agree with everything in there, but I understand why it was done. Although I wouldn't have did it, I understand it. And she also understands, because she's native to Guatemala, right? She's a Native American, but she has a small little farm. And one of her roosters was old, and when they reach a certain point, they just kind of sum it up. They kind of like lose their senses a little bit and go crazy, and their spirit changes. and began attacking like those who cared for him, right? And she had a little girl, like 5 years old, and the rooster began to attack her, not realizing that, hey, she's a baby, but this rooster was old, and so she realized she had to separate the rooster. She couldn't let him walk freely anymore, although this rooster had been a great protector of the chickens and hens there on the farm. Now he had to be separated, and she put him in a cage, and she had to put him down, right? So I'm like, oh, I don't know that I'm gonna watch this, but I watched it all the way through. But she explained why she did that, because this was how she was raised. When animals on your farm will die, whether they die of natural causes, there was a ceremony that was held to help usher the spirit out of the earth. And that's what kind of caught my attention. That's why I finished watching it all the way through, because how she explained, I'm like, well, wait a minute. So I'm just kind of learning some stuff from Oahspe about this. I'm like, yo, like, y'all really practice this for real? I'm like, we are so out of touch and out of tune with, and this was a part of, like, when I was reading about the funeral rites that it talks about in here. There's 3 rites that are given to mortals: birth rites, marriage rites, and they call it funeral rites, right? And so with each of them, there are certain shards that are given to you to help you through this portion of your life. It's really good. We're gonna get to it, y'all. But the video, I think the video was like, it was like 7 minutes. I'm going to share it with y'all today. I warn you ahead of time, if you're an animal lover, you're going to get a little teary-eyed when the ceremony happens, because she explained what happens, and then she had to slaughter the rooster, and I'm just like, oh, like, I found myself like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. But it was so beautiful, but I understood what was being done. I was like, I don't know that I could do that. So I was like, I want a farm. I want animals. But like, we ain't killing nothing. The goats gonna eat the grass, and they just gonna do what they do, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, if one of them get out of control, like, we're gonna have to do something. Maybe we're just gonna separate you to your life ends or something. But I don't know that I could take my hands and actually have to kill an animal, right? But she explains and did it in a humane way. She explained all of that. And she beat the drum and everything, and sung the song. And she explained that this is to help usher the soul. She said, because they actually have spirits. Although they're not like human, they still have spirits that will linger around the earth. I'm like, girl, the animal droops. I'm like, wait a minute, this girl. So I'm going to share this with y'all when we get off. Hold on. In 7 minutes. And just forgive me ahead of time, because you may share. If you're an animal lover, you're going to share the tear. But I'm sharing it with you so you can see the ceremony. And although we have human ceremony, but this one was just like really touching. That was the first one that came to mind when I was reading. So a lot of time, the first thing that come to mind while we're reading the example, that's the one I shared. Let's see. Hen ceremony. So when you watch it, just remember this video and why I explain why I shared it, right? Don't send me no hate mail and report me. It's not gruesome. It's really humane, but I'm sharing it so you can see the ceremony and how she explains this, y'all. Okay. Let me go back and read verse 5 again. And the Druhas were ushered into the crescent, taking on Sargus, the king amongst the number. And the spirit of the king was softened, and they sang peace to his soul and joy forever. And presently he awoke from his craziness and remembered he was dead. And he rejoiced in Zarathustra and applauded him before all the people. And likewise the spirits of darkness who were with him did in the same manner. Zarathustra said, Behold, I have not come in a dark age. Ye shall not worship any man born of woman, nor call him sacred. One only, who is Ormaz, the Creator, is master over all the world. Hear ye now my voice unto him. We all know that, right? We worship only one, right? Zarathustra stretched his arms upward, full of energy, and Yahuwah Mazda spake through him, saying, Light of light, O Father, hear thou thy son. With thy almighty hand, bless thou these faithful sufferers. Hardly had these words been spoken, when there fell from the air above fish and fruit and grains and roots, and all things good to eat, more than sufficient to feed the famished people for 3 days, and there were more than 30,000 of them. Kind of sound like one of the miracles that JC did, right, in the New Testament. Okay, so after there were more than 30,000 of them, there's a reference letter number N, and we'll hop back over to page 216 for the references at the end of this chapter. Remember, all the letter references that you find in the book are found at the end of that book. N. In see chapter 32 verse 24 and chapter 35 verse 23 book of Fragapati. Okay, let's do that. Hold that here. Hold this here. Chapter 32. Book of Fragapati is the book, the heavenly account of this book. Oh, so we got to go ahead a little bit. Let's say 32. Okay. 32, verse 24. Verse 24 said, and whenever Samati and Zarathustra come to a city, go ye also laboring with them. And when Zarathustra holdeth up his hands and saith, O Father, light of thy light, gather ye of the substance around about and shield him with a wall of fire. And if Zarathustra say, O Father Oahspe, give thy children food, then shall ye cast down from the air above fish and fruit. Okay. That's cool. Okay, and also chapter 35, verse 23, which is found on page 224. And when Zarathustra went to a city, and being inspired by God, said, fall down, ye walls. Behold, the angels of heaven rent the walls, and they fell. And when Zarathustra said, come forth, ye spirits of the dead, behold, the Lord seized the Druhas and held them up so that mortals could see them. And when Zarathustra said, O Oahspe, give thy children food, behold, the angels had previously provided fish and fruit, which they had let fall upon the people, the time and place being previously arranged betwixt them and the God of the Word. Okay. And that was all for the in reference, those 2 points. Okay. Back on page 191. I'll read verse 7 again and we'll keep going. Where we at? 57 minutes. Oh. Okay. After we finish this, we'll read the next chapter, which is 10 verses, and then we're going to stop for the day. Okay. Verse 7 on page 191 at the bottom. Zarathustra stretched his arms upward, full of energy, and Yahuwah Mazda spake through him, saying, light of light, O Father, hear thou. Hey, son. Yeah, his bathroom? Your dad in the shower, just go in. Go ahead, just go in. He in the shower. What? What? Who in your bathroom? Your mom always in the bathroom. Just knock on the door. Just knock. 1 second. Boy. Babe. Sorry, I got to pee. You're around the other bathroom. You coming in now. All right, wait. I don't know. Y'all heard me say pee out on live, but y'all got families, right? Okay. Verse 7. Zarathustra stretched his arms upward, full of energy, and Yahuwah Mazda spake through him, saying, light of light, O Father, hear thou thy son. With thy almighty hand, bless thou these faithful sufferers. Hardly had these words been spoken, when there fell from the air above fish and fruit and grains and roots, and all things good to eat, more than sufficient to feed the famished people for 3 days, and there were more than 30,000 of them. And for those of you that may be pointing out, well, why they dropping down fish? Remember, if we read all the way in the beginning, the law was given to Yah's people, or the Zarathustrians, or the Ormazdians, right? Those who followed the lifestyle of the Ehines, the sacred people, or God's sacred, the great creators, the great spirit, sacred people. But the other groups of people, they were allowed to eat certain things, right? So just remember that. So this group of people was mixed with not just sacred people, but some of those other people who were allowed to eat fish in their diet, which is why fish was dropped for them, right? Okay, so don't be trying to do what y'all know y'all supposed to be doing. Verse 8. And all this while the Sargus of the king looked on and beheld what had been done. And he cried out with a loud voice, Blessed art thou, O Ormazd. O that I had known thee. O that I had sought to find thee. Hitias my wife, and my blessed babes. Swear ye to the king, ye will proclaim the Oahspe law forever. Swear it. Give me joy. Swear, swear, swear. Then Hiatus and the children held up their hands, as directed by Oahspe, swearing a solemn oath to maintain the love of Ormazd and the Zarathustrian law forever. After these, there came thousands and thousands of others, who also swore in the same way. Oahspe then took away the Sargus, and the spirits could not be seen by mortals. Next chapter, and it's only 10 verses. We're going to read chapter 21. On the next day, Zarathustra appeared before the multitude, and Oahspe spake through them, saying, I came not in an age of darkness, but of light and knowledge. I am not here to proclaim miracles. I serve the Father, whose Son I am. In heaven above, there are two kinds of spirits, those who serve the earth and those who serve the Father. If ye serve the earth, ye shall be ministered unto by the spirits of the lower heavens who are bound to the earth. If ye serve the Father, ye are ministered unto by the spirits of the higher heavens. All of us, we should be ministering unto the Father, right? The voices we're hearing are coming from his holy hierarchy. I take it? Yes? 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 Okay. I'll read this again. In heaven above, there are two kinds of spirits, those who serve the earth and those who serve the Father. If ye serve the earth, ye shall be ministered unto by the spirits of the lower heavens. Tarot card readers, Sister Barbara, all the ones with the crystal ball, they're being ministered to by the spirits of the lower heavens that rule the lower heavens, right? Start reading it over again. Verse 3, chapter 21, book of God's word. In heaven above, there are two kinds of spirits, those who serve the earth and those who serve the Father. If ye serve the earth, ye shall be ministered unto by the spirits of the lower heavens who are bound to the earth. If ye serve the Father, ye are ministered unto by the spirits of the higher heavens. Because ye were united in prayer last night to the Father, his holy angels brought ye food. His harvests are all over the earth. His fields are broad. It is not just that he also... Hold on. It is not just that he also gather it and bring it to you. What? Okay. It is not, I think I'm reading it wrong. It is not just that he also gather it and bring it to you. To be just to him, go ye and bring forth out of the fat earth wherewith all ye need, rejoicing in him. Cease warring, kill not anything he created alive that runs on the ground or flies in the air, and no flesh save fish which is without blood, and is cold in life, shall enter your mouths. But the sacred people are not even to eat the fish. Remember that. I'm just saying. You figure out what you are and adjust your diet accordingly, right? In the morning, when ye first awake, pray to the Creator Oahspe, praying after this manner. Glory be to thee, thou all light, because thou hast created me alive. I will strive with all my might to be upright before thee. I have faith thou created me wisely, and I know thou wilt show me the right way. Make my eyes sharper to see into my own soul than into all else in the world. I will discover its dark spots, and I will wash them clean. Seal thou up my eyes from the sins of others, but magnify their goodness unto me, that I may be ashamed of my own unworthiness before thee. Boy, that is good. Let me read it again. In the morning, when ye first awake, pray to the Creator Oahspe, praying after this manner. Glory be to thee, thou all light, because thou hast created me alive. I will strive with all my might to be upright before thee. I have faith thou created me wisely, and I know thou wilt show me the right way. Make my eyes sharper to see into my own soul than into all else in the world. I will discover its dark spots and wash them clean. Seal thou up my eyes from the sins of others, but magnify their goodness unto me, that I may be ashamed of my own unworthiness before thee. This day will I run quickly to the distressed and helpless, and give them joy by some deed or word. Seal up my tongue against slandering any man or woman or child, for they are of thy creation and of thy own handiwork. What thou feedest me with, sufficient is it for the day thereof. Complaint shall not escape from my mouth. Quicken me all day, O Oahspe, with this my prayer, that I may become a glory in thy works. Amen. And let the church say amen. Yahuwah said, touching prayer, remember that to utter words, but to practice not, is of little value. He that is true to his own light is strong in soul. To be false to one's own light is to put out the eyes and stop up the ears. He that would rise in heaven, let him begin to rise on earth. The resurrection lieth and following the all highest light one already hath. Let me read that again. The resurrection lieth and following the all highest light one already hath. He that doeth not this is a fool to ask the Father to raise him up. Hellfire is his boundary in the next world. Because Oahspe sacrificed himself, he created all things by sacrifice, and in brackets it says contributing. By sacrifice, contributing for the elevation of others, doth a man begin at the beginning of approaching Oahspe. This is resurrection, in fact. And this, my beautiful people, is where we're going to pause at today. This is so good. Y'all can continue reading ahead if y'all got the time, if y'all off today. But if you're not, go ahead and get out of here and do what y'all know y'all need to do while y'all here in the flesh, right? All right, so with that being said, beautiful people, I hope y'all enjoyed the reading as much as I be enjoying it, right? If it ain't good to nobody else, it's good to me. But it got to be good to y'all. Y'all keep showing up every day. All right, y'all. So with that being said, it is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. It is June 24th, 2022, day 141 of year 4, reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets. Another 4-year consecutive day count. It is day 1159, and we read pages 187 through 183 in Oahspe, which is the book of God's Word for this particular book. That's what it's called, Book of God's Word. All right, yesterday, although a little bit late, I can't even say yesterday, early this morning, about 3, when I was up, I remembered that I said I was going to post where I found the Chamber of Prophecy from the online version and the actual pages of the book. So if you go to the community section, it was posted early this morning in 2 separate posts, Chamber of Prophecy and the basis of the Ezra Bible. And I also put it in the comment section for Facebook, and I also posted it. But I need to go back and add it to the comment section for the videos for both channels for yesterday. That's what I didn't do. All right, so, but it's there, so you can find it. You can jump right to it. All right, that's it, y'all. We're about to get out of here. I love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. May the ever-present bless you in all that you do today. And may your ears be attentive to his spirit, to his words, to his instructions to you in your life and how that looks and how you're supposed to work that out, your own soul salvation. May you be attentive to that today. I love y'all, and I see y'all back here tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.